Howdy, folks. Well, I'm in Oregon. I had to go through Portland, but, you know. Part of me is like, I really love Portland because I love the TV show Grimm. And so it's like, ooh, Portland, where Grimm was filmed. And then it's also Portland, city full of idiots. Anyway, I picked up right next door. Wow, camera barely gets all that in there. Tillamook Air Museum, which is an old blimp hangar. Apparently they used to be able to keep 8. It could fit 9, but they kept 8, so the last 2 were single, where there was 2 on the last row, so they could get in and out easily. 8 blimps, like Goodyear blimp kind of sized. Thing's massive, but doesn't open till 10:30. I'm not sitting here for an hour and a half, which is disappointing, but I'm going to get back out here sometime and visit this place, because this looks like fucking fun. Okay, so as I said in my last video, I'm over here at the Tillamook Air Museum, well, picked up at the lumber yard at the other end of the building, which is a really long way away. As someone who's been to a lot of big buildings, including football stadiums, the VAB at Kennedy Space Center, this is big. Like, this is actually really big, and that's compared to some really big buildings. And, cool of all cool, they've got a mini Guppy here, which I don't know what year this was converted, but I'd have to guess sometime probably in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And the fence is open, so I'm going to go look in here, but I'm under a plane. But yeah, these mini Guppies, there's 3 kinds of Guppies. There's a mini Guppy, the pregnant Guppy, and the super Guppy. Super Guppy's the only one that's still in service today. I think there's 2 or 3 still in service, and this one's obviously a mini Guppy and been retired. Before I go in here and look at the mini Guppy, for scale, there's a human door. There's the rest of the building. Tells you how big it is. Ooh! I want to look in here real quickly. Oh, this is cool! Oh, this is really cool. Yeah, check back on the next video. I'll show you. Okay, I hope I don't get in trouble for being in here, but I will say that the gate down there was open. This is the inside of a mini Guppy. This, back in the day, if you look down here, here's the track system they used to slide things in and out. This was like most of the Guppies and the bigger 747 cargo planes and everything, where the front nose would have tilted up. But oh, they had a turbine version and a prop jet version. Cool. It would have tilted up. This would have probably carried, probably stuff for NASA back in the 60s and 70s with the space race and everything. This would have probably carried satellites, satellite equipment, NASA equipment of some sort. Up here's the cockpit area, which is plexiglassed off, but 3 seats. Navigator sitting here, pilot and co-pilot and pilot. But this is actually really interesting. But yeah, these, let me show you this way actually. Okay, so the mini Guppy's the tail open. So the tail, the aft section would have opened, and here's plane wing being loaded inside, part of a jetliner being loaded in, boat, Sikorsky S-64 Sky Crane, more helicopters. There it is, being moved into position for the museum using a heavy wrecker in 2008 when they got it. But yeah, these were air freighters. These were your cargo planes of the day, and they were all converted from, this one was converted, yeah, this was used, the Super Guppies and Pregnant Guppies were used for more for like the Saturn V and stuff, Saturn V rocket trunks and everything like that. But, yeah, this is really cool. This is an interesting piece of history that you don't get to see very often. But yeah. And here is some of the latches, and over here's the controls, and this was how the aft section would have opened, so everything back would have hinged over. That right there is impressive, let alone this thing's carrying capacity. Real quickly before I leave the Mini Guppy, but yeah, this green line is where it hinged, and I was looking at this little thing here. Down there is the bathroom, so you had to walk all the way from up there, round your cargo, down the little ladder to the sub-level, which was basically similar to like a cargo hold on a passenger plane, to use the bathroom and where other equipment, batteries, flight control stuff was kept. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go down there if I had to. And then here is the aft small door, in and out, and it would have had stairs probably built into it. So, yeah. That's the Mini Guppy. Y'all have a good one. Enjoy. Alright, so one last Mini Guppy video. I'm gonna see if my tall ass can fit under this wing. Oh, barely. Alright. So, yes, this one is a prop jet, and the reason they were called Guppies, Mini Guppy, Pregnant Guppy, and Super Guppy, was, there's train tracks going into this old blimp hangar. I'm guessing that had something to do with them getting the in and out. I'm just guessing. Anyway, the reason they were called Guppies because they looked like a fucking guppy. By the way, there's my truck. Looks very small. But, they look like a guppy. And you see how, because this front piece is really the last remaining part of the original plane that was converted over. And I think this was from a Corvair. I think the Mini Guppies originally were from Corvairs. Anyway. But, yeah, they were big. I don't know if it's politically correct to even call a plane fat anymore, but it was a big, fat fucking plane. This big, rotund, because they're like, we need to be able to fit stuff in here. We need to remain somewhat aerodynamic so we can at least do, 200 mile per hour airspeed and fit a lot of shit in there. And it was the beginning of the space race. NASA needed round things shipped. Saturn V rocket assemblies, boosters, stuff for Gemini, Mercury, the beginning of Apollo, test stuff for all that, and satellites and all that kind of stuff that was going up in space at that time. And, eventually for Reagan's space laser program, which Department of Defense is still waiting on that. But anyway, and so we need to make sure it's round. And that would also make sense for it needing to be aerodynamic, because we're not going to fly a big fucking box through the air. So they literally just fucking made it round and sloped it down at the bottom for the lower level landing gear and everything. And said, hey, it's big, it's round, it fits shit in it, and kind of goes decent speed. Well, we'll just do that. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. As usual with government contracts, they follow it to the fucking T. And that's exactly what they did. And so this is the Mini Guppy. And the Super Guppy is a lot bigger than this and is based off of a 727. And then the Pregnant Guppy, I can't remember what it's based off of. But, yeah.